at an angle that doesn't always work for people.
Let's just stop and go back, because I'm wrapping the show and you're interrupting me.
First of all,
this is what we spent a whole meeting on this.
First of all, Teray, first of all, Teray.
Why don't you let me wrap the show? I'm ending the show. What is the point of interrupting me?
First of all,
we're getting out of here. Like, what is the point? What is the point? It says go to host up.
When you're talking to me, lower your fucking voice when you're talking to me, because you're acting very, very gentle, very soft, and very feminine. And this is the problem. Teray, you talk to your wife like that. You don't talk to me like that. I am not your wife. You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your wife, gentle. I'm not your wife, softy. Don't talk to me like that. You talk to your wife like that, not me. Teray, talk to your wife like that. Do not talk to me like that. That is not how you That is not how you professionally approach me. Don't fucking talk to me like that. Check.
Frank and Ariva, I apologize.
Check yourself. You don't talk to me like that.
Hold on,
talk to your
Doc.
wife like that.
Doc, hold on.
Shut the fuck up talking to me like that. That's what you do. That's what you do. You better tap into your gentleness and real quick.
We ready?
I've been ready. Been ready.
Wrap this up?
Yes, as I was doing.
And then we'll speak off camera. Here we go.
Is more gentle men who understand.
You're very gentle, and it comes at an angle that doesn't always work for people.
Let's just stop and go back, because I'm wrapping the show and you're interrupting me.
First of all,
this is what we spent a whole meeting on this.
First of all, Teray. First of all, Teray.
Why don't you let me wrap the show? I'm ending the show. What is the point of interrupting me? We're getting out of here. Like, what is the point? What is the point? It says go to host up.
When you're talking to me, lower your fucking voice when you're talking to me, because you're acting very, very gentle, very soft, and very feminine. And this is the problem. Teray, you talk to your wife like that. You don't talk to me like that. I am not your wife. You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your wife, gentle. I'm not your wife, softy. Don't talk to me like that. You talk to your wife like that, not me. Teray, talk to your wife like that. Do not talk to me like that. That is not how you professionally approach me. Don't fucking talk to me like that. Check.
Frank and Ariva, I apologize.
Check yourself. You don't talk to me like that.
Hold
talk
on,
to your
Doc.
wife like that.
Doc, hold on.
Shut the fuck up talking to me like that. That's what you do. That's what you do. You better tap into your gentleness and real quick.
We ready?
I've been ready. Been ready.
Wrap this up?
Yes, as I was doing.
And then we'll speak off camera. Here we go.
Is more.
Yo, what it do, newbies? You are not in the wrong place. The lifers will tell you that you are, of course, home with the Life Be Life and podcast, hosted by none other than your favorite fat freckle man, your favorite coach's favorite coach, the big dog himself. Who? Coach is in the building. What's going on, family? What's going on? Great to see y'all here tonight. Gave y'all that quick brief clip starring the one and only not Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, or trademark TM Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, right? Because she does own the trademark for the name. So legally, though it has nothing to do with degrees, legally she can be referred to as such. So before I get to the body of, I'm going to be commenting on multiple things. This whole episode is not going to be about her. it's not worth it. I kind of covered it previously 2 episodes ago as far as the problem with giving influencers such power, so to speak, such influence over us to impact us in places where they should not be allowed. Pause. Um, but allow them to have sway over our lives in ways that they absolutely shouldn't. Um, so I'm not going to get too much into that. But one of the things that I want to get to right off the bat, let's talk about the elephant in the room. And it's something I personally have a problem with. The intentional, what's going on, Mar? Appreciate you. The man formerly known as Top Chatter in the building. He's first in the chat this week. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the support as always, brethren. Professor Petty himself. Yo, by the way, anybody who ever saw me with that hoodie that says God has not forgotten you, if I didn't tell y'all already, Myra made that. It's a hit. Everybody loves it. I get compliments on it wherever I go. He gonna have to re-up. I'm gonna have to re-up with him for another one when it gets cold again. Plus it was warm, like quality hoodie, quality work, brother, quality work. But back to the conversation. So the elephant in the room is the need to emasculate men, particularly in conversations between Black women and Black men. Like that's the first thing they go to. Black women, for all their conversations about the flaws with Black men, and I don't even want to say like imagined flaws, I mean genuine flaws, like things that we can genuinely be called out about. Like you could definitely look back and see how Black men behaved and spoke in ways that was big homophobic. I mean, even now to a certain degree. Yo, cuz. Good to see you, cuz. Cuz from the Yo Cuz podcast in the building. But yeah. So I guess I'm trying to find a way to say not tap dance around, but find a way to say it in a comprehensive and a way that people can understand. I think I sound better now. Okay, yeah, that sounds a little bit better. Sounds a little bit more clear. Black women have become the most homophobic, like that they've ever been, and it's insane. Because and I don't want to understand how gay Black men or gay white men or any gay men, I don't understand why y'all let it slide. That they use your sexual orientation as an insult for heterosexual Black men in particular. Like that's the first thing you want to do. You get in an argument, you don't like what he's saying, sassy, aka diet gay. In this case with Cheyenne and Keish, Mrs. Ferrier in the building. Hey, put respect on my sponsor name, the newlywed, the Mrs. Keish with the cake, okay? Make sure you put respect on that Black queen name, you heard me? Black love is still alive in big 2026, you heard me? Black men still marrying Black women and raising Black children. Forget what the narratives is telling you. But as I was saying, like that's the easy jab, right? Like sassy, diet gay. Feminine, diet gay. In this case with Cheyenne and Torre, gentle, diet gay. Like that's really what it is. It's short of just plain out calling you the old school F word, the bundle of sticks, right? The British cigarettes. She got a captain now. Good call back. Good call back. Good call back. Good call back. Quality callback, bro. Quality callback. Quality callback. Quality callback. If y'all was around for that, episode, man. That gets another laugh. Quality callback. Quality callback, Myra. If y'all was around for that episode, we had the first ever, and so far the only debate between lifers. I want to do that again. I'm waiting for two other people to step up to the table and engage in it. I would love to do such an episode again. But shout out, shout out to that callback, that episode. Who's the captain there? But yeah, like I thought that you see black women friends with gay men and they call them girl, and they treat them like one of the home girls and all that, and y'all got love for them and all that. So then why would you use their orientation or their way of life as a slur? It doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense. It's because you don't really respect them. You don't. You're homophobic. She said, and do. I like it. I love it. And you are hoping to strike at the core of the black man you're saying that to. However, that really don't work no more. Like, you trying to say sassy, feminine, soft, gentle. You gotta come right out and call a dude gay these days for him to get upset. And you probably gotta use, like I said, you probably gotta use the British cigarettes. You gotta flat out call him that for him to get upset. Because now he's just gonna look at you, and because that's all y'all got these days when y'all be trying to insult. When I say y'all, I mean those type of black women, because I know plenty of black women that don't do that. I know plenty of black women, they will insult you in an argument. I'm not saying they won't cuss you out, but that's not their go-to. You know what I'm saying? They don't need to rely on homophobic slurs to diss you or to try to get you straight. You feel me? No pun intended. Anyway, I just find that to be hugely and incredibly problematic that still in big 2026, that is the go-to when black women have a disagreement with black men, based on how we conduct ourselves, or based on how we conduct ourselves with black women. The minute we do something unfavorable, it's about being less than a man, as if gay men are less than men. They are still men. Gay men are still men. However they decide to express themselves, whether it's masculine presenting, they're still men. So to treat them as less than, or to refer to them as less than, because when you refer to us as less than, that's what you're implying. I don't want there to be any more ambiguity about it. I don't want it to be but not really. No, it is what it is. It is what it is. That's exactly what you meant when you said that. For sure. For sure. So let's what they say. Let's cut the crap. Let's do that. Um, and now we can get to the part that has to do with the actual episode. So we all know by now, unless you've been under a rock, or unless you've really been good on dodging social media, that Cheyenne Bryant, who rose to fame, not saying that she wasn't doing counseling or life coaching beforehand, but she rose to fame after her popularized, quote unquote, as she called them, sessions with Nick Cannon and Cam Newton, where she addressed some of their issues. And to be fair, some of the things she said was right? Quite a few of the things she said was right. Like, to be completely honest, when I watched it initially, I thought she did a pretty good job. But the more we saw of Cheyenne Bryant, well, I can't say we. I'm gonna speak for me. The more I saw of Cheyenne Bryant, the less I liked. The more I was able to see the chinks in her armor, the more I was able to see the flaws in her logic, the inconsistencies in her saying one thing and then saying the next once it got flipped on her. Like I started to see that happen more and more and more. You're saying these are absolute ways. You're saying that these are the right dating strategies. You're saying this is how women should conduct themselves if they want to be married someday. And then when people start asking you, who was unmarried, about the way you move, what you said on this show didn't align with what you said on that show. And once she started, and y'all can disagree with me if y'all want, but once she started to go on other podcasts and started to criticize women, the witch hunt began. That's when the start of the witch hunt began for her. Not the witch hunt, the hunt for her validation, the hunt for proof of her credentials. That's when it began. And then when she started to speak negatively on licensure, oh man, open the floodgates for criticism, speculation, research, all of the things. But what Cheyenne Bryant has not learned through this entire ordeal is that there is such a power in knowing when to shut the F up. Just shut up. If you genuinely believe that there is a large audience dedicated to misinterpreting and misunderstanding you, why are you on this public tour of podcasts? Now it has affected what you needed to be on a tour for, your book that you were supposed to be bringing out, that you were supposed to be selling. You're supposed to be on a book tour. You distracted away from you distracted from the book tour. And now even when you go somewhere and they're asking you about the book, the question has to come up about your credentials, and the way you address it has been so poor. You're overly defensive to the point of being offensive. When truth be told, once people started questioning this, that, and the other, you could have said nothing. Because the fact is, the people who were going to see Cheyenne Bryant for her being their life coach did not need her to be consistent in what she said, because she's already been inconsistent. They did not need proof of her doctorates because she already hadn't proven that. They did not need for her to be a licensed therapist because she already wasn't. Those people who booked sessions with her, all of that already existed and was already the case. She was going to continue to get more clients. She was going to continue to get more business. Yes, some people would have walked away. Some people would have ran away. Some people would turn on her. And then, as she said, there's the people who were never rocking with her. So you don't lose anything there. So lifers, I want you to learn from Dr. Pepper. I mean, Dr. Seuss. I mean, Dr. Dre. I mean, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. I want you to learn from her that there is a power, and even when everybody is running your name through the mud, knowing when to shut up. Because at a certain point, all you can do is throw flames on the fire. After a certain point, that's all you can do. That's all you can do. If you follow Not Charles on Facebook, you notice I've been speaking about podcast breakups. And the one that's had me intrigued and in the headlock is from a show that I was enjoying when I finally stumbled onto it late last year, early this year. I feel like Intrusive Thoughts with Callie and G, which is now just Intrusive Thoughts G. So Kelly, Dr. Umar, listen. Don't get me started on Dr. Umar and Amanda Seals. But like, yeah, I truly want Doc McStuffins, right? Like I truly want the life the Life Be Life and community to understand that. Because truth be told, someday somebody might start spreading bad things about you. Or they might start spreading truths about you that you were not ready for them to hit the light. It happens. You know what I'm saying? And it's not so much about you. Like now, let's be straight. She directly and intentionally misled people. She lied. She pretended. But you might not be doing what she did, and it might just be, let's say, some stuff from your past, right? People see you as the person you are now, the person who you work to become, the person who you changed into. And all people have on their minds are who you were. So now that you're lit as this person, they want to tear you down, and they're going to use the truths from your past to do it. Now, a lot of times they're going to start freestyling, adding spice to it, trying to make it sound worse than it is. But even if they don't, and the truth itself is bad enough, I understand the desire to defend yourself, to explain. You know what I'm saying? To try to give context. So I'm not saying everybody should just shut up every time they're attacked or their name or their personality. I mean, like, listen, I'm a Wire fan, so listen, when Marlo got upset because he heard they was dragging his name in the streets, and Chris was like, it's nothing that you should have on your mind. And he was like, what do you know about what I need on my mind? What do you know about my mind? My name is my, put that on. My name is my name. You feel me? Make sure the streets know word did not get back to me. You feel me? So like, I completely understand the my name is my name situation, because that's how I feel about the Charles family name. My name is my name. Not just Nari, but the Charles part. That's the part that I wear the heaviest. You know what I mean? It's not just for me, it's for my family. So I get defending yourself. But once you realize that the audience just ain't with you, once you realize that people believe what they want to believe, but you also realize those who trust you and rock with you ain't moved, shut up. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do at that point in time. There's nothing else you can do. As I was saying, with intrusive thoughts with Callie and Jay, right? So Callie went and told her side. Now, for those who don't watch the podcast, these are two young, beautiful Black women. The one Black woman, they're both kind of, a little wild, a little, they're very interesting in my opinion. Very opinionated. But one plays the straight woman role for the most part, right? She's more organized, she's more calm, she's a little bit more down to earth, she's more, and the other one is the wild child, you know what I'm saying? The loud personality, bubbly, energetic, touching on guess not on no freak stuff, but like, in your personal space and asking you invasive questions and stuff like that, right? So it's like chaos and order. So at some point, people noticed they wasn't seeing Callie, who was the order, on the podcast with G, who was the chaos. So he started asking. So in order to not really draw too much attention to whatever was going on behind the scenes, initially G was like, hey, she could be not ill, she could be on bed rest, she could be, sick, whatever. Basically trying to stall out. You know what I'm saying? Trying to stall out the audience until they could figure out what they was going to do. And she was hoping that they would get it together before everybody finds out whatever was going on. So people started asking Callie, was she pregnant? She went ahead, went to the internet, made a post saying, nope, she's not pregnant. And another post saying she stepped away. She's not on hiatus. She's not coming back to the show. She still loves her sister. They're not literally sisters. She still loves her sister, but she had to walk away from the show because that's what's best for her. Boom. At some point, she decides she's going to tell her side of the breakup. goes on Lou Young's show, tells her side. Now G wants to tell her side. So, as again, a fan of the podcast, when Callie started posting more since leaving the podcast, I'm telling you, I saw the comments themselves. They completely turned against her. They completely turned against G. Like, y'all was the same people in the Intrusive Thoughts podcast talking about how unhinged G was and how funny she was and how electric and entertaining and, oh my God, G, I can't get enough of you. And the minute y'all saw this breakup happen, y'all turned on her and talked about her like she was the worst thing ever. And those fans are shitty for that. Terrible, awful work, nasty work. But that's what happens with breakups, right? Especially when it's between two people. You have podcast breakups where there's multiple people who leave. But as long as there's sides, people choose sides. Every time. Every time. Yes, there are people who are neutral, but people choose sides every time. And every time they choose a side, the other person is a villain. So it was easy and fast to villainize G because she has the more, on the fringe of basically maybe being an inappropriate type of personality. So it's easier to blame her. Now G's coming out with her side. Problem is, and I'll try to make this in a way that is relevant to the topic. I'll sum it up. Problem is, Intrusive Thoughts as a podcast, because they have their stuff on Patreon, they do a bunch of clips of one episode to kind of try to reel you in. So she stuck to the formula with this episode where she's telling her side. The problem is that's a terrible strategy for this particular situation. Callie went on Lou Young's podcast, YouTube channel, whatever he wants to call it, show, whatever he wants to call it, respect to Lou Young, and told her truth for free. You want to tell your truth and you're expecting people to pay $20 for it after a large part of your audience has already turned on you. At this point, somebody get this to G, please. At this point, G, make the episode for free or cut it out because you're losing favor. Whoever even wanted to take your side, the more the clips you drop, the less favor you get, especially because, of course, you're not dropping the clips in order of what happens, right? Or in the sequence of how the conversation actually happens. So there's people who saw this part of the clip when you were crying before they saw this part of the clip where you seem kind of like more like your smart aleck self, right? And they're making judgments based on that. It's not doing you any favors, beloved. It's not doing you any favors. At this point, even making reels about the episode don't do you any favors. Just go ahead, drop the episode on y'all YouTube for free, on your YouTube, I guess, because not y'all anymore. Drop the episode for free and don't say anything else and let people come to their own conclusions. I too have been in situations, and I'm sure at some point in my history, once I do enough good, or once I get lit, or once I get important, or once this podcast start making like considerable amounts of money, at some point somebody is going, nah, if people want to buy it, sell it. The problem is nobody wants to buy it, bro. That's why I'm saying make it for free. Although that's another conversation. Depending on who he's talking about, that's another conversation. And I'm here for selling it. The problem is nobody wants to buy it, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's actually what the problem is that nobody wants to buy it. It's not like your regular content where people want to buy it because it's unique. It is y'all too. It's what y'all brought to the game. It's what the fans came to see. But separately, they already got their half, including the people who don't rock with you, who don't ride with you, including the people who do rock with you and do ride with you. They watched her tell her version of the story already. They're not going to pay for yours anymore. That's the problem. Nobody's having the conversation about what you said from your side because they didn't buy it. This community is indeed about accountability. But he bringing back all the callbacks from the episode, man. If you haven't watched that episode, go back and watch it, man. Who's the captain now? It was a very interesting and what's the word? Stirring debate. There we go. I think I did a decent job in moderator. Y'all let me know. Y'all go watch it and let me know what y'all think I did as a moderator. Let me know how y'all felt I did. But all this to say, to wrap this into the conversation, you got to know when to shut up, man. What the song say, got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. Folks, sometimes you're not going to win the battle of public opinion. You're not. And it's okay. It's okay. I get it. Like I said, my name is my name. But unless you are in situations where you have solid, irrefutable proof that shows this ain't that and that ain't this, once you have to tell a story and hope that people believe you, once you have to give your side of things versus somebody else's side of things, and you don't have something concrete to back it, you got to know sometimes that shutting up is the best thing you can do, because the more you talk, the more ammo you give. And most people are not media trained, whether it's professionally media trained or whether they've trained themselves to be in that spot someday. Most people are not. They are going to just go ahead, and the more that the questions make them uncomfortable, the more they will respond emotionally, the more they will take things personally. G sitting there crying during during parts of, the retelling of her side of it, and people are now like crocodile tears, which is not necessarily fair to her, because like, if it's one thing for me and Ace to have shut down 2 Kings 215 because he was ready to step away from podcasting the way that happened. He wasn't ready. He wasn't comfortable with being on camera on a weekly basis. That's not his twist. That's an easy solution. That's something that I see my brother's need. He communicated his need to me, and we worked from there. That would be different from I'm doing episodes where it was me and him the whole time. Suddenly I'm doing episodes where there's no him, and then I'm sitting here trying not to tell people that he's no longer with the podcast, and he has to tell people he's no longer with the podcast, and now people are wondering why. That's a different type of beat. Like, even from what Callie said about it being a text message and, a disagreement and a conversation about pay and a conversation about sweat equity and, who was really working and who wasn't. Me and him ain't had them problems. Me and Mish didn't have them problems to where it was like we're arguing because I don't feel like she's carrying her weight. She don't feel like I'm carrying my weight. Like, we wasn't having those problems. Like, that's different. You know what I'm saying? So I can genuinely understand feelings being hurt. You know what I'm saying? If Mish is on another podcast when people didn't even know she left this podcast, or if she just let people know that she was stepping away from Life Be Life and Permanently, she goes on another podcast and basically tells people that I took the podcast from under her, changed everything, and then told her she could come back as an employee and not a partner. If it didn't go that way, then yeah, I'd be hurt. Now I ain't saying I'd be sitting here crying necessarily, but if I did, I think I'd have the right to. So I think people, saying, crocodile tears and the huffing and the frustration, it's unfair. But again, people paint you out however they see you. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you just gotta learn to shut up. Because at this point, it's nothing she can do to win. It's nothing she can do to win. So keep that in mind, lifers. Sometimes it's not worth the fight of trying to defend your name to people who don't want you to win. Now, when you got proof on some stuff, go ahead, bring the proof. Go ahead, bring the proof. Clear your name. Do whatever you got to do. But if it's just a court of public opinion and all you got is your telling of the truth or your side of the truth, go ahead, tell your side of the truth, and then let that be done. After you give your side, don't go back and forth about it. Don't keep talking about it because it only gets worse from there. Cheyenne Bryan at this point is opening herself up to so much danger as far as, one, you're tanking your book sales. Like, I think the book tour is canceled if I'm not mistaken. So that hurts. These two going at it in the comments, boy. I tell you. My community is a community. People start making their own friendships, having their own connections and their own conversations. I can't be mad at it. Part of me being here is to bring people together. However that is, however that works, I ain't got control over it. But as I was saying, you just gotta know sometimes you can't win, man. Knowing when to shut up is a life skill. It is an art. It is essential to your success. Her publishing was pulled. Wow, I did not know that. But that's what I mean. Case in point. Case in point. So you mean you spent all this time to write this book? You went to editors. You got the book made. It's printed. It was published. You have it in your hand. Physical copy for people to buy. And they pulled the publishing? Oof. Oof. Man. I felt that. I ain't even a fan of hers, but damn, that hurt. So, yeah. Perfect example, man. You can only serve to do more damage sometimes the harder you fight to try to convince people that, it ain't what it ain't what it is, or it is what it ain't. You gotta know when to walk away. You have to. You have to. It might be Chat GPT. Like, that degree is crazy. Oh man. So what else we got going on, folks? Listen, I had a couple more clips lined up. But I'm thinking I'm gonna bring this episode to a close sooner than I normally do. I know it seems like a cop out, but at the same time, I kind of feel like jumping into too many different conversations kind of ruins the flow of the episode. And I kind of want the things to stay as cohesive as possible. These two arguing about the boat and the captain. Good Lord. What am I supposed to do with these two? So first and foremost, let me because I want to pull up this information right quick. Excuse me, I should have already had it up for real. For those of you in Philadelphia, especially the fellas, especially the dads, next Friday, June 5th, I will be at the Turn Your Podcast Up event that is hosted by Taya, aka Author T, the lovely lady formerly known as Taya, the curator. But yeah, she hosts the every first Friday of the month. She hosts the Turn Your Podcast Up event. Trying to make sure I got the exact address for it. Because I know it's in Hunting Park, but I want to make sure that I give y'all the correct address for it. Why don't I see it here? My apologies. I did have it, and then I lost it. But yeah, it will be from 7 to 8:30, I believe. Yeah, it'll be. They finally hashed it out. It'll be from 7 to 8:30, where I will be potting live for the Turn Your Podcast Up event. Dang, I am really letting y'all down by not having it in my phone where it's supposed to be. All right, here we go. All right. So it is at the G Host Bar and Lounge, 1653 West Hunting Park Avenue, 19140. So they serve food, they serve drinks, and I will be part of the Consider Men all male panel. You know what I'm saying? So definitely slide. Let the dudes slide. You know what I mean? This will be in honor of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month as well as Father's Day, which is both occurring in June. So be there June 5th, 7 to 8:30 at the G Host Bar and Lounge on at 1653 West Hunting Park Avenue, 19140. That is where Coach will be next Friday night. Tomorrow night, I will not be podcasting at all with anybody or soul or anything because my oldest son will be going on his senior prom. So I will be the proud dad, making sure that tomorrow, doing everything tomorrow to make sure that it goes off without a hitch, that he is suited, booted, prepared to have fun and make long lasting memories for the rest of his life out of this night. I appreciate everybody who's prayed for my son, who's poured into my son, who has sent kind words to my son. I appreciate you all, lifers, your support for me as a person and a father. As you know, the rest of you parents know, being a parent is not easy by any measure or stretch of the imagination. But your support for those of you who have been here physically and in person, supporting to those of you who just sent good energy, prayers, and well wishes from afar. I thank you all. I'm very grateful to you guys for being with me on this journey of raising a young adult and getting him at least out of high school. He will be attending in the fall, he will be attending East Stroudsburg University. So he is an East Stroudsburg warrior. So congratulations to Nick. I know you don't watch my podcast because it's not really for your age, but I know sometimes you stumble across stuff and, you know, I say to you in person, but I'm also going to say it here that I'm very much blessed and grateful to be your father. I'm proud of the young man that you are becoming. of the lessons that you've learned on your own, of the things that you've been through, that you go through, and still manage to have a good heart, a caring heart, a loving heart. You still manage to be present for people. You're still a protector and a defender. Still funny as I don't know what, bro. Funny as I don't know what. And that you're still you at the end of the day. So very proud of you and grateful for you, man. You just don't know. Aside from that, got a couple of new features for y'all. First and foremost, new feature of the week. New feature of the week alert. What do I have for alert button? I need an alert button, y'all. Or you know what? Let's do the drum roll, right? Let's do the drum roll. One of the new features for Life Be Lifing is called Throw the Oop. And what Throw the Oop is a couple of different things, right? So Throw the Oop is you guys, the lifers. When you send me suggestions for things to react to comment on, topics, even stuff to post on the Facebook or anything like that, that is assisting me. That is helping me create content. That is throwing me an alley-oop in order for me to score as a content creator and as a podcaster. So, of course, I appreciate y'all for the assist. And I will be shouting you guys out. I'll be shouting you guys out for whoever threw the assist. So, for the assist this week, we have Ada Don Martin, who hit me up with the question I posted on Facebook about and in the Lifeline about a man being with two women. He lies to one, he tells the truth to the other. Which one does he cherish or love? That submission was from Ada Don Martin, so shout out to her for the alley-oop on that one. Appreciate the assist. And this very segment and another segment we'll be introducing was so I had the other segment that I'll be introducing. I had that idea already. And I'm a person who does believe in things like spiritual confirmation, right? Like if you had an idea and you've been sitting on the idea, you've been thinking about it, you haven't really decided to go through with it, and then you either see something, hear something, or somebody comes to you with that idea, that's the confirmation to go with it. And it's not an accident. It's not a coincidence. It's meant for you to know to go forward. So I already had that idea. And then this person came and confirmed that idea. But also, he's actually the one who threw me the idea for throwing the alley-oop. And that goes to Kevin Killingsworth, one of the writers for, because I believe in, of course, plugging Black comic book creators, Blood Makers. That's right, Black independent comic books. Y'all can get a copy of that on Amazon. I'm gonna get him the link. I'm gonna get the link from him when I get a chance, and I'll put it in the description. But Kev threw me the oop on that. So shout out to Kev. Appreciate the assist. All right. And here is the last feature and the last thing I'll tackle for the night before we sign off. So everybody all in. We've seen sports, right? We know what a huddle looks like. We all come together, we congregate, we stand around each other while one person goes ahead and either gives a speech to let us know we're done, to inspire us, to push us forward. This is what we will call the huddle. We'll do the huddle at the end of every episode, just reviewing what we already talked about in a good word to go away with, right? Right. So, everybody in? Everybody in? We in here? On me? All right, cool. So, tonight, long story short, we're going to be attacked. People are going to talk down on us. People are going to use our past against us. People are going to paint us in a negative light. You have the option to fight back. And I'm not mad if you choose that option. As Marlo said, my name is my name. And I am a firm believer in that. However, you have to know. You have to know. You have to learn. Because apparently it's a life skill. It's not just something that's automatic. You have to learn and understand that no matter how much you are actually right, even, whether you're right or wrong, you have to accept that you can't win every fight. You can't win over everybody. You can't convince enough people every time. Sometimes that group of people who believe what they believe, you just got to let them believe what they want to believe. Again, if you have irrefutable proof, always bring that to the table and clear your name. But if it's just about your opinion, guys, listen, here's the play. If you have proof, right, what you're going to do is you're going to bring that proof out your bag like a Michael Jordan turnaround, like an AI right to left, left to right crossover. I don't know if any of you guys knew, but AI actually couldn't do his famous crossover from right to left. He could only do it from left to right. Just a little tidbit of information. Anyway, you go to that move. That is your go-to move. Proof is always your go-to move when it's time to defend yourself. But if not, and you got to freestyle it, sometimes you just got to go ahead and consider it a turnover. Sometimes you just got to go ahead and consider it a turnover. You are not going to be able to hit that shot. You are not going to be able to win that game. And sometimes you just chalk it up and leave, man. Live to fight another day. All right? So remember that. The court of public opinion does not always have to work in your favor, especially if you're lying, though. Let's keep that a P, especially if you're lying. So there's the serenity prayer, right? Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That wisdom applies here in knowing when to shut the F up. It helps sometimes. All right? So, shut up on three. On three. 1, 2, 3. Shut up. Yay. All right. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me tonight, man. Everybody who's in the chat. Listen, if you are not subscribed for whatever reason to the YouTube, it's okay. Now you can fix that tonight. Hit the notification bell and select all so that it lets you know whenever I go live or whenever I drop content. Because sometimes I'll try to start dropping content that's not even about me going live, but just, maybe some clips on my scene, some stuff from other podcasts that I think you guys might be interested in as well. I appreciate all you guys. And on behalf of A.C.E, my brother who he always be, put the applause sound on. I thought I did. Y'all not hearing the applause sound? Don't tell me I ain't been hearing the applause sound the whole night. That's crazy. But on behalf of A.C.E, my brother who he always be, on behalf of the owner of Simply the Shade Catering, the co-owner of Second Line Express, Denver's mom, the stepmother to KK, Riley, and Bryce, the wife of the owner of Second Line Express, Mr. Ariste Ferrier, the lovely, the awesome, the dope Mrs. Ferrier, aka Quiche with the Cakes. As I always say, be smart, be respectful, be patient. That includes being patient with yourself. Be kind to as many people as you possibly can. I know some people's going to make that impossible. That's fine. Don't even worry about those people. But make sure every single day, y'all, every single day, take the time to be kind to yourselves, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. Also want to give a brief shout out my dearly beloved and dearly departed little cousin. His birthday was Tuesday, Aiden Johnson. So I will, I guess, close out with a moment of silence for him. And I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all next Thursday at 9. And for those, as I said, who are in Philly and would like to show up, 1653 West Huntington Park Avenue from 7 to 8:30 for the Turn Your Podcast Up all male panel. And again, we'll go out with that moment of silence for Aiden. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. See y'all on the next one. And break.